All right, we're back in InDesign, and right now I'm going to show you how to create a PDF. PDF is a file format that is readable on almost all computers worldwide. It's a file format that Adobe developed in the late 80s, early 90s, and it stands for Portable Document Format. And what it does is it remembers not only the information in the document, but also how the document looked. And so it's a very common practice among designers to send a PDF to a client if they want the client to review a file that they've been working on. It allows you to look at it, but not to change it. It's also a method that we're going to use to have you turn in your InDesign files. A lot of times your file size can get quite large in InDesign. It also requires that links be sent in order for us to correctly see the document. So we'll be asking you to email both the InDesign file and often a PDF so that we can see what the document looked like. Um, let's go ahead and open up a file. I've got one here in my Open Recent. It's a little poster that you will be working on sometime this week. And I've got the design all created, and what I'm going to do now is go up to the File menu, and I will find Export. You can see the quick command for that is Apple E, and if you're on a Mac. And when you export a PDF, by default, the name of the PDF is the same name as the name of your document, just a different extension. For instance, INDD for InDesign, PDF for Portable Document Format. It's asking me where I want to save this. A lot of times you'll want to save the file in the same folder where you have your original document. For right now, I'm going to save mine to my desktop. So I'm going to click Save. I've actually already got a version on there, so it's asking me if I want to replace it. I'm going to replace it. After you hit Save, there's a dialog box that comes up and asks you to give it InDesign a little bit more information about how you want the PDF created. For most of this, you can leave it as the default. I'll mention a couple of items. There are some presets, which are some predefined ways to save the file. You can save the file, get it down to its smallest size. You can save it at press quality, which is quite high quality. You can use high quality print, which is also keeps a lot of the resolution in the images. What we're going to do is just leave it at the default. And in this dialog box, what we want to do is make sure that the right pages are being saved. There's only one page in this file, so I can just leave it at the default of all. If I wanted to specify, maybe I've got a 12-page document and I just want to export pages 1 through 4, that's how I would do it, a 1-4. If I wanted pages that weren't consecutive, I could type in a 3 and a 5 and a 1 and a 10, and it would save all those documents in one file. So let's go ahead and revert to just the all. The next thing I'm going to look at is the compression. This is actually the last thing that we'll explain to you today. What compression does is it looks at the images that you've used in InDesign, and it can downsample or get rid of some of the information in the image in order to make a smaller file size. It can also compress your text as well. So what we're going to do is, in this section of the dialog box, we're going to tell InDesign that for any image that's above 120 pixels per inch, we want it to downsample it to 120. So you can see I got a little error dialog box. I need to type in this section first, so I want to bicubic downsampling 120 pixels per inch for any image above 120. Okay? Basically that dialog box says that this number cannot be smaller than the number above. Okay? I'm going to do that same thing for my grayscale images, 120 for any image above 120. Okay? We're not going to worry about the compression quality, and I'm also not going to worry too much about monochrome images because we aren't going to use very many of those in our files. The final thing I will do, however, is to make sure that compressed text and line art is checked. So we want that checked. For compatibility, you can leave it at Acrobat 5. So it looks like for right now I'm pretty much all set to create my PDF. And so I'm going to click on Export. You can see how it runs through and prints my file. Remember that I sent mine to my desktop, so if I click on my desktop, you can see there's a copy of the type poster right here. And when I double click, I should see a file open in Adobe Acrobat that looks exactly like the file I created in InDesign. And it's kind of cropped to the file size as well. So there's a PDF. For more information about PDFs, you can boot Acrobat and go to the Help menu. And again, that can explain a little bit more about the dialog boxes that we were looking at a little bit earlier. The other thing you can do is within InDesign do the same thing. You can go to the Help menu, InDesign Help. If you type in PDF, it'll come up with some documents that will explain in greater detail some more of those options. This concludes our tutorial on how to export a PDF from InDesign.